Hello, welcome to Allen Baptist Church Daily Bible Study. We're still going through the Bible, looking at characters of the Bible in a sort of an alphabetical order. We're still in the letter M, and today we want to look at an Old Testament character, Miriam. You can find her primarily in Exodus 15, Numbers 12, and her death in Numbers chapter 20. She's the elder sister of Aaron and Moses. When her mother, the mother of Moses, you remember when Pharaoh was killing the male babies in Egypt to cut down on the population of Israel, she helps her mother put Moses in a basket in the river and to hide him. And Miriam's the one that was watching, and when Pharaoh's daughter finds Moses in the basket, she's the one that runs up and says, I can provide a wet nurse for you, which she meant Moses' own mother, and she's the one that did that. She's also the one that that we see after the crossing of the Red Sea and the celebration that's there. Now I'm going to come back to that. I want to first read what the prophet Micah says in Micah chapter 6 and verse 4, where Micah the prophet is reminding Israel of their history. He says, "Indeed, I brought you up from the land of Egypt and ransomed you from the house of slavery, and I sent before you Moses, Aaron, and Miriam." It's interesting that when you go look at the accounts of the Old Testament, it's always listed this way: Moses and Aaron and Miriam, that all three of them, and she's even referred to as a prophetess sometimes, but she was definitely a leader along with Moses and Aaron. She was their elder sister and seemed to be a real support. But I think it's interesting. I said I wanted to come back to after they crossed the Red Sea. Not only was she a leader, if you put it in our terminology today, you might refer to her as a worship leader, because when they cross, she gets a tambourine in her hand, and she gets all the women to go out with her with the tambourines, and leads them in singing what some have called the Song of the Sea, which Moses was the one who wrote the most of it, but she put a tag on the end of it. The tag that she put on the end is, "Sing to the Lord, for he is highly exalted. Both horse and driver he has hurled into the sea." So she led the people, got the other women to join her with tambourines in leading the worship song following the great victory at the Red Sea. Sometimes we think that women are not leaders, but they are. But of course, through the Bible, God expects and has given the role in worship and in the home for men to take that lead. And she, most of the time, supported Moses' leadership along with her brother Aaron. Of course, then when you get to Numbers chapter 12, it kind of falls apart a little bit as Aaron and Miriam rebel grumble against Moses, and Miriam's actually struck with leprosy for a period of time to show God's displeasure. She had to live outside the camp for a while until she could be cleared that she was back to health, which happened. But nevertheless, Miriam, a great woman leader who was right by the side of Moses through thick and thin of what went on in that great exodus out of Egypt toward the Promised Land. Women are very important to us in the church today. As a matter of fact, there are a lot of churches that would be dead if it weren't for the women. God bless you, women.